Not pretty, is it? These rocks keep coming at you. So the legs are screaming. It was after a long summer of late night barbecues that I found myself on the northern shores of the Mediterranean in sizzling heat and sandals. I'd been on the road for many weeks by this point, having spent most of them in German hangars and hanging in German bars, the victim of corporate hospitality. Let's just say I wasn't exactly in race trim at my arrival at the Enduro World Series in Finale Ligure. The EWS-E series is now attracting some big names in the two-wheel world. MotoGP legend Marco Melandri is on the start line, and the Pro Series is being led by multiple world downhill champion Nico Vullios. This race was about to become legendary too. The plan was simple, on paper at least. 3 loops of 4 time stages, each including a notorious power stage. The end of each loop would allow a very generous 20-minute battery swap and maintenance break. Ample time then to refresh both bike and body. I mean, how hard could this actually be? Pretty hard it seems. Practice had already taken out my right-hand man, who had to fly home last minute for some business reasons and wouldn't be taking the start line. And so it was, I took to the start line alone. Heavy rain had replaced the 36-degree heat of previous weeks, a less than appetizing prospect for the merciless limestone rocks. Well, here we are on the start, morning of the race, and an already really difficult race has become amplified even further by wet weather. So what we've got now is we've got water on limestone rocks, and if you'd ask me what is the worst rock to get wet, it's limestone for sure. So the weather gods have added another layer of complexity to this race. I think it's going to be one of the hardest days I've ever had on 2 wheels, for sure. My glasses. Those are my start times. I don't have glasses. Big day, Jacko. Big day. It's very cool. I mean, you gotta sort of try and enjoy it. I'm just saying this now, just so I've got it on camera. You've got to try and enjoy it somewhere, because I mean, you know, it's a hobby at the end of the day, right? It's a leisure activity. Stage 1. The day begins uphill. There's one down. Top. Try to avoid problems, as in try to avoid the big chunks of rock, although it was all big chunks of rock, but reasonable start, but a bit messy. It had been a scruffy start to the day, but no time to dwell on it, and on to stage 2. So uphill start to this stage and a long descent into Pietra Ligure. So yeah, a bit of pace in this, need to really be careful. Nerves are going. Okay. Grazie. Try not to panic. These rocks keep coming at you. Brutal start. So the legs are screaming. You can feel the compressions. Oh man. That's the finish. It's like
you're tired off the start because you got to climb, and then if you've messed up, you feel like you've got to pull back, which ain't a good idea. And then the pace of that descent was insane. Like riding it yesterday is one thing, but pushing it against the clock and having to deal with different ground conditions, very, very tricky. So just playing it safe a bit, trying to aim for some of the earth, some of the hookups and the rocks, but you get on top of some of that limestone rock and you're in a bad way for sure.
I pulled back some time, second place on this one, and know that 15 seconds of that had been lost on the initial climb. With my mood lifted, we climbed to stage 3, the whole Ligurian landscape opening up before us. It smells good, it looks good. However, in the background, the clock ticks, the butterflies begin, and before I know it, I'm in.
Thanks. Oh, I lost some grip. So I was a starter. Now it's a case of how quick can I recover from that beating. Me sideways. Whose idea was this? The first part, I was cooked. And then you go into that relentless. I'll have to press stop, guys, sorry. So that's 4 stages done, and it's really difficult trying to manage your heart rate because a lot of the stages you're going in and it's a hill climb and you're in the red within sort of 30 seconds to a minute, and then you're going to drop into some super technical downhill tracks where you need to have your wits about you. So the only way to do it is recover really quickly, and the only way to go fast is to leave off the brakes. So it's a little bit of a game of risk because you need to keep your momentum because you're like, you've got no energy to kind of pedal or anything. So it's quite an interesting strategy which you've got to play. So we just got back to the start, and you cannot do an event like this without the support of the wife and your mate. I don't know where he's gone. Is he there?
He's here.
He's there.
Yeah. Doing some mechanicking.
So the bike update. Bike update is good. Brake update not so good because we've got 90 kilos braking on steep cliffs. Got to get food. Wife's hassling me to get food. I had 2 lemon sodas and a lot of peanuts and some pizza and some focaccia. Anyhow, and salad. But now we're a third of the way around, and I'm already beaten.
With 4 stages done, there are now 8 more to do. The second group of 4 stages is a hearty mix of rock, sections that would not be out of place on a World Cup downhill racetrack, and transition climbs that would be hike-a-bike on an MTB.
Put the place up, yeah, we know what we made of. Can't get enough of you, boo, I'm a chaser. Face up, now I feel a little major. Link up and out, ego, I'm a taker. Shaker, yeah, she wasn't ball shaker. She shake me out that door to no place. Yeah, and why you doing all that? Thought you was my wife, but you stabbed me in the back. Something like a rope when we came out there, we settled facts like the Vinci. I'm breaking bones, I'm breaking backs. Come on, get your ass up if you slip it. Put another smile like it was the last Christmas. Hey.
Bit hot, Steve. I'll tell you what, not finished yet. The hardest things. E-biking just like keeps delivering these ridiculous challenges. I defy anybody to come and do this event. It is absolutely savage. The hill climbs are just like that. I mean, and there's stuff like that at the end of stuff like that.
With the heat building and first signs of really bad fatigue, there was the matter of the power stage to contend with.
Go on, Steve! Push, push, push! Near the end! Go on, boy! got it, you got it, you got it. Nearly up there. Keep going, go, 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 go.
I'm only joking. It's not pretty, is it? It's a game of survival now. It's a game of survival. My biggest problem is weight. Like, there's a couple of guys ahead of me who are like sort of 50, 60 kilos, and they just run up these banks like it's fresh air. So I'm always on the back foot, to be honest. But you still got to put the effort in to try and keep in the game. I mean, Marco Melandri, superbike legend. Look, he just keeps going. He's like, he's just in the power stage, and he just keeps going through the power stage. I mean, that guy's an athlete. I am not an athlete. Priority is to get some food, as much food in me as possible. 80's priority is to fix the bike, or maintain it at least. So we've got a loose seat, hardly any surprises after all those rocks. But you cannot do an event like this without serious support from the wife and your mate.
With the fettling done, it was time to head back up for loop 3.
I mean, you've got to take some time to appreciate where you are. The smells of it are really great. Not the smell of me though.
With 4 stages to go, the pedals feel reasonably light. And even though the pain has been intense, I feel lucky to have shared the day with some great characters all in it together.
Here we are, stage 9. I'm looking around me thinking, I'm kind of a number 8 rugby player up against sort of number 9s. Kind of doesn't add up really. And this is the start of a big stage. Loads of uphill at the start, you're in the red, and you're going to a very long descent. So these guys are so skinny. Huh?
3 children.
What?
3 children, maybe. They eat for me.
How many kilos are you?
60. Ah, si.
What?
60. And I'm 80.
80 kilos.
82.
Wow.
How many are you?
120.
That's too much. Way too much. I drink 1 or 2 beers. You're lighter than me. After biking, it's 2 beers, but I think you drink 5.
At least
120. It's not the same category.
Laughing and joking to one side, it was time to get serious.
Oh, sketchy.
How's that, Steve?
There's easier ways to spend a Thursday. Feet on the desk, lying on the sofa, watching a bit of rugby. Clock ticks to 6, 7 o'clock. Get the beers in. I think I'd be able to lift a pint glass. Maybe it's a night for wine. What'd you say, Jack?
Oh yeah. Some rosé.
With the brutality of stage 9 and 10 done, there was only 2 left, 1 down and 1 very much up.
So we're in Finale Ligure, just done a wonderful stage 11, albeit with a climb. Now he's got one stage, power stage to go, stage 12, and it's a brute, that's for sure. Had a bit of, had a lot of cramp in that stage, so I had to sort that out.
How did you sort that out?
As you told me, basically, keep eating more food. Coconut bar,
Yeah.
best.
Yeah, I told you, potassium.
11 down and one serious climb to go. Having cleaned it in practice, my head was confident, but my body was telling me otherwise. Oh boy, this is tough. With the job done, I make a hasty retreat to the finish area. That was some day. Riding for lengthy periods is one thing, but to empty the tank 12 times and deal with the tortuous transitions makes EMTB racing, as the organiser Enrico Guala did warn me, pretty serious business.
So we've emptied the tank, it's now time to fill the tank. So Jack, this is for you. Kindly donated by Boris, one of the best photographers in the world. You seem to have got a spare there, Boris.
Yeah, for you. Legend.
Oh yeah. Oh
Well done. Enjoy it.
yeah. Enjoy. Thanks, Boris.
You're welcome.
Oh man, tastes so good. That was a big day. 9 hours 24. To summarise, I think it was always like a game of profit and loss. I'd gain stuff on the descent and then I'd lose a lot of time on the power stages and the climbs. So a little bit frustrating, and also because you were behind, you tended to push a little bit too hard maybe on the descents. But interesting puzzle to work out, this e-bike racing. But definitely that's 9 hours. That's one of the hardest 9.5 hours I've ever done on two wheels. Learned so much. Learned about the bike, learned about my body. Cramp, massive amount. But please come and try it. There's the EWS-50, there's the EWS-80, and of course the EWS-100. But I would say on the scale of hardness, that was probably up there. And I wouldn't be surprised if many people said that's actually harder than the non-e-bike race, for sure. So thanks to everyone. Fantastic atmosphere here in Finale Ligure. And yeah, I might do a bit of training next time. Cheers.